Hey guys, Korrina here. I'm here today to unbox our September OwlCrate box. Sorry that this video is going up a little bit later than we usually would like to post an unboxing, but I was away at the end of September. But I'm here, it's October. I've got my Hocus Pocus t-shirt and I'm feeling in the mood for October, Halloween, and all things spooky. So I think it's a perfect day to unbox the September Fear the Night box. Now, I had a few people reach out and ask us why we were doing a spooky box in September and not October. And the main reason for that is that just because we wanted people to be able to use these items all throughout the month of October and Halloween. And if we sent it in October, you wouldn't have the chance to do so, which would be sad. So that is why. Let's see what's inside. This was one of my favorite boxes to put together because I love all things Halloween and October and fall. My birthday's in October. And I've been wanting to do a spooky box for a long time, and finally the perfect book came out in September for us to do this. So when you open it up, of course, first thing on the box is always our monthly spoiler postcard with artwork from Jordan Kincaid. This month she depicted like a girl lost in the woods and there are some creepy creatures spying on her. It's quite eerie, and as always I just love the illustrations that she comes up with for our cards. I think she's so talented. Alright, let's move the wormies. So first thing in the box that I see is this awesome package of exclusive coffee from Bones Coffee Company, who we worked with in April 2018, and the feedback was just so positive, so I've been looking for a box to partner with them again. And when I knew that I was doing a spooky box, it just was the perfect fit. And they created this flavor just for us. It's 100% exclusive to OwlCrate, and it is caramel corn, you know, like caramel corn. And it is so yummy. So when we were originally working on figuring out what flavor we wanted to do for the box, they sent us a few different ones to try. They sent us a like toasted marshmallow, oatmeal cookie, a pumpkin creme brulee, and this one. And everyone in the office, we all liked like all of the flavors, but by far our favorite was this one. And I'm just so obsessed with it. I can't wait to have some more. It just tastes like so good. So even if you're not like a super big coffee fan, I would recommend trying these out, especially with like a little bit of milk and sugar. It's really yummy. It's quite different from your average coffee. So this, I believe, is a 4-ounce package, which will definitely get you a couple of cups of coffee. And if you are a subscriber, you can reach out to Bones Coffee and they can send you a link to purchase a larger size of this flavor. But that is OwlCrate exclusive only. This is ground coffee, so you can use it in any like coffee machine, French press style. If you have a fillable K-cup kind of pod thing, you can use this in. There aren't directions on how to brew it because I feel like the way people brew coffee is so different depending on how strong you want it. I kind of just eyeball it, but you can definitely find, you know, guidelines online if you Google that. Or I'm sure that Bones has instructions on their website as well. But yeah, I love including coffee every once in a while, and this is one of my favorite companies to work with. I just think they do such a good job, and their like label illustrations are so cute. And next up in the box is another item I'm quite excited about. It comes in this really cute like spooky box that has some like pumpkin skulls, bats, perfectly Halloweeny, and this box was designed by Michelle Gray, who does all of our box packaging. And when you open it up, inside is a beautiful ceramic trinket dish, like jewelry dish. And this was designed by Stella Bookish Art, and it features a quote from Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It says, "Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful," which I thought was such a great quote to use on this item because, you know, you can have it on display during the Halloween season, but you can also keep it around year-round and just kind of look at the quote as like a reminder for how awesome you are, how strong you are. So you can use this little dish to store whatever you like jewelry, maybe some spare change, candies, whatever. We've never included a trinket dish in a box before, and I just think it's really, really pretty. It's got like this nice gold foil effect on it as well. And next up is another really useful and fun item, and that is these fingerless gloves that feature a skull and crossbones perfect for October, of course. And they're just so nice and cozy. You just put them on like this. They've got a thumb hole, and you just wear them like this. And I just think that looks pretty badass. These are a Team OwlCrate exclusive item that we created, and originally these were actually going to be elbow length gloves that come all the way up to here, but then when our supplier sent the sample, they were like, oh no, we didn't make the length correct, sorry about that, we can fix that later. And once they arrived, the entire team agreed that we actually liked this length a lot better, and it was just way more accessible for more people, I think. And I'm just really happy with how they turned out. I think they're super cute. And Crystal actually told me that she found out that you could wear them like irreversible, like the other side. So I'm going to test that out now, because that's something that I didn't know about and didn't have planned. So let's see what happens when we turn it inside out. Oh my god, so that's actually really cool. That's actually awesome. So you can decide to wear it however you like, with the black side out or the white side out. That's really cool. I'm glad that Crystal told me about that. I always enjoy including like cozy wearable items during the fall and winter season, so I hope you guys enjoyed these gloves as much as I did. The next item is a really special item that we partnered with Penguin on, and that is this paperback exclusive edition of The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Shirley Jackson is one of my favorite kind of more classical horror writers. I feel like she's so good at making, like, you just feel so eerie as you're reading her stories. And this book actually inspired the really popular Netflix show as well. So I thought that this would be a fun one to include this month, instead of including something that's more well known and popular like Frankenstein or Dracula. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy reading this month. So this edition was originally a part of the Penguin Horror Collection, which is a collection of classic hardcover horror novels, and they all have these really brightly colored covers. And this is the first time that they've ever released it in paperback, just for our box. And one thing that I really like about our paperback edition, it's kind of difficult to tell, I think, on the screen, but it almost has like a gray, like smoky stained edge on the side here, just from how the pages are printed, which I think is really cool. I always really enjoy whenever we get to include 2 books in a box, because I think it just ups the value so much. And yeah, I thought it was a perfect month to put extra spooky books inside. Next up is a really beautiful art print, which was illustrated by one of my favorite artists, Anne Lamlette, who we've worked with on a few different projects in the past, and she's also like really well known for doing illustrated book covers and things like that as well. She's had a lot of books come out, especially within the last year, with her artwork on them. And I'm just such a big fan of her style and all of the like intricate lines and textures that she uses. And I partnered up with her to create this art print, which is inspired by Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, which is another really great classic spooky story that is perfect for Halloween time. And this art print features the quote, "Beware the autumn people," which is one of my favorite quotes of all time. And we just decided to do like a kind of graveyard haunted house scene, and then we've got the skeletons and like ghosts of the people in the graveyard coming to life on All Hallows Eve. And I just think this is so beautiful. You know, I wanted to do some sort of artwork that wasn't like grotesque or like really scary, but just more atmospheric and perfect for fall. And as a little bit behind the scenes thing I thought you guys might want to see, I thought I would show you her initial sketch, which looked like this. And then we turned that into the final colored version like this. And then quickly before we get to the book and our monthly enamel pin, we also included a promotional chapter sampler for a book that is coming out in October called The Beautiful by Renee Audier. And I'm really excited to read The Beautiful because it's about vampires. Renee is bringing vampires back to the YA scene, and I'm here for it because I love vampires. I always have. I was so into Twilight and, you know, all the vampire books before and after that. And I'm just really excited to see them making a resurgence in YA literature, and I can't wait to read this one. This is kind of like a historical fiction that takes place in New Orleans, and it just sounds really good. And so if you want a little, see if you like the writing style and like where the story is heading, you can read our chapter sampler before picking up the full book. All right, and our book selection for the month of September is one of my favorite releases of the entire year, if I'm being honest. It just speaks to my soul. I loved every second I was reading this story, and I'm so happy that I was able to include it in this box and kind of put it out there for more of you to enjoy as well. And that is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. So the regular edition features a black background, and we turned ours into this, like, it's not just white, it almost looks like parchment paper, and it just has all this really cool texture, and I just think it looks so beautiful, still spooky, but just like kind of different. I don't find white books very often, like books with white covers, and I love this one. And I really loved the original cover, and I didn't want to stray too far from it. I wanted this bone house skeleton design on it, and I just love what the publisher did with it. And there's a character in this book who is a map maker. He draws maps, and so I kind of just pictured him using this kind of paper to draw his maps, so I thought it was really fitting for the story as well. And of course, as with all OwlCrate books from now on, we also had it signed by the author. I don't know if you can see that, but every single book was signed by Emily, and yeah, I just think it's a really beautiful book. And we also included with it a really neat, like, die cut bookmark that has this like flap, so you can actually put your page inside the flap and then the skull will peek out from the top of your book. Let's see if I can do it. The bookmark says nothing stays buried forever. Spooky. There he is, just peeking, watching you read. It's pretty cute. We've not really included a bookmark like this, I don't think, before, so, and it's made of like a really nice buttery, like, matte finish. And then of course also we included a handwritten letter from Emily Lloyd Jones, just kind of talking about where her inspiration for the Bone Houses came from. And on the back, that there is the regular cover. Ooh, spooky. I like them both, and I, to be honest, will probably go out and buy this edition as well because I just love this book. So The Bone Houses, like I said, is one of my favorite books of the year, and probably one of my favorite books of all time, to be honest. It just ticks so many boxes for me. It's like loosely based on Welsh mythology and like folklore and fairy tales, and it is about a girl named Rin who is taking care of her family after her parents have passed away, and she is making a living as a grave digger within her small village. And she also knows that the forest on the edge of the village is somewhat magical, and she knows that the dead don't stay dead in this forest, and they sometimes rise and come towards the village, and she's kind of taken it upon herself to protect the village people and get rid of these creatures who, what she calls bone houses. They're almost like zombies. And so she's been protecting the village from these zombies. And then all of a sudden, more and more zombies start coming, and she doesn't understand why there's a sudden flood of these creatures, and she wants to save her family, save her village, and figure out what is causing this, why there is this sort of curse that has been put upon the people in her town. She also meets a map maker named Ellis, who is an outsider to the village, and all of a sudden he shows up one day and he wants to make a map of the forest. So together they decide to embark on a quest through the forest to figure out what's going on, and I'll just leave it there because I don't want to spoil anything. But what they find in the forest is just, it takes the story in a very unique direction. It is just so special. It's kind of like a mix of like a horror and a fairy tale, and it's just perfectly creepy without being super scary or gory or gross. And I just think it's awesome for anyone to read during the autumn season. Even if you don't like scary stuff, it's just, it'll just spook you a little bit. It won't hopefully give you nightmares or anything like that. And the characters and the way that it's written is just so perfect. I haven't really felt so attached to characters since reading The Raven Cycle, which you guys know I'm obsessed with. And it even reminds me a little bit of The Raven Cycle in that it's, you know, about Welsh mythology and things like that. So it just was such a perfect book for me, and I really hope that you guys enjoy reading it too. I think Emily Lloyd-Jones is such an underhyped author. She wrote The Hearts We Sold, which we included in our August 2017 box, in which again I feel like is such an underrated book, and that one was amazing as well. So if you haven't picked up Emily's books, please do so. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by both of them. They're just wonderful. And then the last item in the box is our monthly collectible enamel pin, and this month we worked with Lapels and Spells, which is just such a perfect shop to work with for a spooky box, because their pins are just like witchy and creepy and dark, and I just love them, and I've been wanting to work with them for a long time. And the pin that they designed this month is a skull with some flowers growing out the top. And all of our monthly enamel pins are inspired by our book selection, so this one is inspired by the Bone Houses. And I don't want to say too much, but the flowers play a very important part within the story of the Bone Houses, so that's why we decided to include them in the pin. And they are white flowers in the book, so when you're reading, keep an eye out for that, and you'll know why we chose to put that on the pin. One cool thing about this pin is the flowers do glow in the dark, so just charge it up and the petals will glow, which is really fun. So when Stina at Lapels and Spells and I were working on this, first she came up with this concept, which was she showed us two different skull versions and two different flower versions, and then we kind of did like a mix and match where we chose the skull from one sketch and the flowers from the other and put them together, which turned into this. And she sent us two versions of like updated versions that had white flowers and some green, and it honestly took us a long time. Like the whole team, I got them to vote on what they liked best, and it was really difficult to decide, but we ultimately decided to not have any green in the design and just keep it really simple, just like black, white, and gray. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's one of my favorite pins of the year, I think, just because it's so my personal taste. But yeah, I just think it's really cute, and you know, it's a very subtly bookish pin. No one who you'd see on the street would know that you're wearing this and it's inspired by the Bone Houses, but you know, and that's cool. Well, those were all of the items in the box, and then of course we always include a little magazine at the bottom of the box, which just features some fun things. There's a interview with author Emily Lloyd-Jones. We always talk about the differences in our covers. There's a word search and some recommended books if you like the Bone Houses. There's an interview with Bones Coffee, photo challenge prompts, the schedule for when we're going to do an Instagram live chat with Emily, which is set for October 23rd, so stay tuned for that. And then a sneak peek at next month's theme, or this month I guess, because we're filming this in October, which is Dawn of a New World. So our October box is really, really exciting because we're doing a sci-fi theme, which we haven't done in over a year. I think the last time was March 2018, so it was definitely time to do some sci-fi again. And what's really cool is we are including two hardcover signed exclusive books. Both books are brand new releases in the month of October. Both books are signed, both books have exclusive covers. We did this last October and people flipped out, and I've been like waiting for the right month to do it again. So I'm really excited to be including two brand new books for you guys. We also announced on social media that we will be doing two enamel pins in the October box because there are two books, so we had to do two pins. And the pins are designed by the Enchanted Bookshop, who is a great pin shop. I can't wait for you guys to see the pins that she designed because they're really cute. And again, just a really subtly bookish design. The October Dawn of a New World boxes are still available, but they're selling quite quickly, so if you wanted to grab one, be sure to go to OwlCrate.com and grab it. So that was everything that was in the September Fear the Night boxes. This box did sell out early, so thank you so much to everyone who ordered one. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting it together. And yeah, let me know, what spooky books are you guys planning to read in the month of October? Are you going to pick up the Bone Houses like I hope you will? We're really excited because the Spookathon readathon is happening soon, and it's a readathon that the entire team looks forward to every year. So stay tuned for more bookish videos about our TBR, and yeah, I just know we're gonna have lots of fun October and Halloween themed videos coming up soon. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, now is a great time to do so. That's all from me. I'll see you guys again soon, hopefully at the end of this month with our October unboxing. So thanks so much for watching, happy reading, and thanks for being awesome. Bye!